So let's dive into a simple blueprint that can totally change how we think about teaching behavior. It's all about shifting our goal from trying to control people to actually building a skill. And it all starts with a phrase you've definitely heard before.
Line up quietly. I mean, come on, you've heard this 1,000 times, right? You've probably said it in a classroom, at the office, maybe even to your own kids. It sounds so simple, so obvious. But is it really?
Now seriously, think about it. What is quietly? Does it mean absolutely no sound? Is a little whisper okay? What about the sound of shuffling feet? You see, my idea of quietly is probably different from yours, and it is definitely different from a 7-year-old's. And that tiny gap in understanding, that's where all the trouble starts. Oh, and here's another classic. Work respectfully. It's a great goal for sure, but it's also completely abstract. We're asking for a very specific type of behavior without ever, defining what it is.
What does respectfully actually look like? What does it sound like? Is it a certain tone of voice? Is it making eye contact, not interrupting? The truth is, respectfully could mean 10 different things to 10 different people who are all sitting at the same table.
And here's the core of the problem. We just assume everyone has the same internal dictionary for words like quiet or respect, but they don't. And when we leave these things so vague, people just fill in the blanks themselves. We're not setting a clear expectation, we're basically just creating a recipe for frustration for everybody involved.
Now, this isn't just some little communication quirk. There's actually some real science that explains why being so vague just doesn't work. Let's take a look at what's actually happening inside the brain.
It all comes down to something called cognitive load theory. Just think about it. When you're spending all your brain power trying to figure out, wait, what do they actually want me to do right now? Your brain is working overtime. And all that mental energy that should be going toward the task itself, or, just managing your own impulses, it gets totally wasted on just trying to decode the instructions. So on one side, you've got unclear expectations, which just create chaos. It ramps up cognitive load and it makes self-regulation way harder. But on the other side, when expectations are crystal clear, you free up all that mental space. Behavior starts to become automatic, and emotional regulation actually gets better.
And this brings us to another huge idea, social learning theory. Basically, it just means we humans learn how to act by watching what other people do, not by listening to what they say. I mean, if you're frantically running around telling everyone to be calm, what are they really learning from you? They're learning franticness. Behavior is contagious, and is passed on through demonstration, not demands.
Okay, so if vague instructions and lectures don't work, then what does? Well, the answer is a really simple but incredibly powerful 3-part blueprint. Let's break it down. The whole blueprint rests on 3 pillars. First, modeling. You've got to show the behavior you expect, don't just announce it. Second is practice. You have to build that muscle memory through repetition. And third, feedback. You need to give specific, immediate guidance to help sharpen that skill. Let's make this super concrete. So instead of just saying, transition quietly, you actually model it. You say, okay, everyone, eyes on me for a second, watch how I do this. Then you physically do it. You stop talking, you put your pen down, you turn your body to the front. You're literally playing them the movie of the exact behavior you want to see.
And here's the pro move. Narrate your actions out loud while you're doing them. Okay, I'm putting my materials away. Now I'm turning my body toward the front. By doing this, you are making the invisible thought process behind the behavior totally visible and audible for everyone. It's a game changer.
So the second part of this is practice. A lot of times we show something once and we just assume, okay, they got it. But it's just like learning to shoot a free throw. These little behavioral routines need tons of rehearsal before they become second nature. And this isn't about punishment, it's just about building a skill.
So what happens when the practice run is a total mess? You don't lecture, you don't get mad, you stay completely calm, you take a breath, and you use this one magic phrase. Okay, let's reset and try that again. It's totally neutral, there's no blame, it's just a do-over. And it instantly signals that this is about skill building, not about winning a power struggle.
And finally, feedback. This is the part that makes the practice actually stick. But generic stuff like good job is pretty much useless here because it's not specific. The feedback has to be precise. It can be descriptive to reinforce exactly what went right. It can be corrective to gently nudge them back on track, or it can be private so you can address an issue without causing any public shame.
All right, so this all sounds great in theory, right? But how do you actually start doing it? Let's walk through a super simple plan you can literally start using tomorrow.
First, don't try to fix everything at once. That's a recipe for disaster. Just pick one small routine, like how people enter the room. Then, model it explicitly. Step 3, have everyone practice it. And yes, it is going to feel awkward at first. That's okay. And finally, be relentlessly consistent with your feedback for 2 solid weeks. That's how new habits actually get built.
And that choice leads to a really critical shift in your mindset. See, when a routine breaks down, you have a choice. If you see it as an instruction problem, your natural response is just to calmly reteach it. But if you see it as an act of defiance, your response is to get frustrated and escalate things. The frame you choose pretty much determines the entire outcome.
Ultimately, this whole blueprint is about making a fundamental shift in how we see things, moving away from this old idea of control and toward a new idea of skill building. Think about it. When things go wrong, our default assumption is often that people just aren't trying hard enough. Or worse, that they're being deliberately difficult. We think they know what to do, they're just choosing not to.
But what if we just flip that assumption on its head? What if the problem isn't a lack of will, but simply a lack of skill? What if they're failing, not because they don't want to succeed, but because they just haven't had enough clear modeling and practice to make the right behavior feel automatic yet?
And that right there is the most important idea to walk away with. Our job isn't to be a manager trying to control a group of people. It's to be a coach, a teacher, a leader who is trying to build skills that will serve people for a lifetime. That one little shift changes absolutely everything.
So I'll leave you with this question. Forget about control for a minute. What is one small, specific behavior in your classroom, your office, or even your home that you could stop demanding and start teaching as a skill, starting tomorrow?